بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين.
Interpretation of the Holy Quran.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. With the help of Allah, we began a brief interpretation of Quran. We got to chapter Nisa, the fourth chapter of Quran, which is revealed in Medina. It has 176 verses. Please listen to verse 40.
إن الله لا يظلم مثقال ذرة وإن تك حسنة يضاعفها ويؤت من لدنه أجرا عظيما.
Surely Allah does not do injustice to the weight of an atom, and if it is a good deed, He multiplies it and gives from Himself a great reward. In previous verse, Allah encouraged believers to spend money, to give as a charity. And we said to give as a charity is not only to spend money. Sometimes other people need money, sometimes they need our time, our energy, our power, our cooperation, our dignity. We have a respect with somebody and others have problem. We should go and ask the person who gives us respect to help him. And this is a charity. This is sadaqah. In this verse, as Allah is answering a question that, okay, why some people have no money or have a lot of problem and they need? Is it not oppressing? It is not injustice. Why some people are really needy people? Why some people have a lot of problem in their homes, their community, in their families? Why Allah doesn't help them? Why He knows their problem and He can solve their problem. Allah wants to say briefly, you must understand that definitely Allah doesn't do injustice to anybody. Anybody. Sometimes you will understand the reason, sometimes you will not understand. But anything you see, you must understand that Allah does not oppress, does not do injustice to anybody. But what is the reason for these differences between people? Why many people have some sicknesses, for example, they are born when they were sick, or they need a lot of money. For a long time since they were born, they were poor people and Allah doesn't help them. We must understand that it is misunderstanding to judge that we must live in this world without problem. This is wrong. Allah has created us, and when He created us, He said that I want to examine you. I want to help you to improve. And examination and improving are impossible unless through difficulties and problems. Have you seen any person to go to universities without examination? Have you seen anybody to get a good degree without working so hard? Without studying in the night? Have you seen any person to reach to higher level of education or to become a professional person in one issue, one subject without working hard? It is impossible. And Allah says spiritually is the same. Nobody can reach to higher level. Nobody can get paradise and reach paradise and get to the higher level of humanity unless through being patient and through suffering, through helping the others. And these issues will not happen unless through difficulties. Through difficulties, you will understand which person is a very good person, and which person is not. Through difficulties, you will understand which person is a generous person and which person is not, or he is so stingy. Through difficulties and problems, we will understand which person is thinking about others and which person is not. So Allah says, help the others, and you must understand that I'm not going to oppress anybody. Help the others, and I remember that you helped. I will not be injustice, I will not do injustice regarding to the others who are poor and regarding to you who are working so hard for the others. I will not ignore it. I know it, I remember it, and I replace it. Allah is just and will not do injustice to anybody. Because if you think properly, anybody who do something wrong and he is a wrongdoer, he oppresses the others, definitely it has a reason. Sometimes the reason is ignorance. A person oppresses other people and steal the money from them. He think that the money belongs to him, or he think that it is his money. So the reason is ignorance. Sometimes the cause of the injustice is not ignorance, is greediness. I have a lot, but I want something more. You have some car, you have some money, you have something that I don't have it. I oppress you to get it. So the reason is greediness. So sometimes ignorance, sometimes greediness. Sometimes it's fearness. I have power, I scared that you will get my power, my position. Because of that, I'm going to oppress you. When we know and we understand that Allah doesn't need anything, Allah doesn't afraid of anybody, nobody can take the power from God, Allah is not greedy. If the causes of oppress, nobody will be fine about Allah, definitely we must say that Allah is just and is not doing oppress or injustice toward anybody. Allah is independent. Allah doesn't depend on anybody, and Allah is the one who ordered people to be fair toward others, to be just in dealing with others, and to have benevolence to others. How it is possible that He orders to these things and He oppresses Himself? Now, even a child who is born with the difficulties, still Allah is just. Allah wants to examine the parents. Allah wants to examine the child himself, and Allah wants to examine other people, how they deal with the child. And we should not forget that sometimes we are the cause of the problem, not God. We didn't get a good food. We got the alcohol in a state of good food. Or sometimes we did something and it is the effect of that. So if it was not, and it is not our fault that it happens, like earthquake, for example, we must understand that Allah is going to examine people through difficulties and problems. So we have understood that Allah is just, and if we see the punishment and difficulties in this world, we must understand that Allah wants to examine us. And sometimes we are the cause of the problem, not God. Also, we have understood that Allah says, if you do something, Allah is going to reward and multiply the rewards. As Allah says, وَإِن تَكُ حَسَنَةً يُضَاعِفْهَا. And if you do something good, definitely Allah is going to multiply it and give it 10 times more, even sometimes 700 times more. Then Allah says, وَيُؤْتِ مِن لَدُنْهُ أَجْرًا عَظِيمًا. Not only Allah rewards us, Allah will add it. Allah multiplies whatever we do, and Allah will give it much more. As Allah says, وَيُؤْتِ مِن لَدُنْهُ أَجْرًا عَظِيمًا, and gives from Himself a great reward. It means not only Allah will replace whatever we have done, Allah will give the reward much more than we expect and we deserved it. Thank you very much for watching. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.